The latest arse from the political class. Andy Burnham is his name. He wants to tax the dead. What a claim to fame. He wants to be a statesman like shifty Starmer before. Britain is going just one way, down and through the floor. There's been a Burnham bounce, the gullible like his smile, under that cheesy grin.
Hello again. I've watched two interviews this week that I felt I had to comment on. One with our unelected Prime Minister who's got no mandate, the guy that called out for a general election when the Tories did exactly the same undemocratic thing. And people argue me when I say it's all a big pantomime, our democracy. But the most important interview I watched was trigonometry, one with Peter Hitchens. And he was asked about the state of the UK, and we really are in a bad mess.
The country is obviously finished. It's just a question of how and when this will become evident to everybody. The most likely thing has got to be the currency, which is losing value hand over fist as we speak, but at a sort of normal rate. But if it actually gets into a really serious inflationary spiral, then that will make it evident. Because everything we do at the moment is based upon an overestimate of how rich we are. And if the currency shrinks to the point where you can't make that pretense anymore, then everything, all the things that people don't dare reform, particularly the enormous amount of government spending, will shrivel away and will be blown away in a wind of inflation. And I think it's quite possible that will be the end of it, but there might be other things. There's a great determination in our elite to get us embroiled in a European war. And some people still want us, I think, to get embroiled in a war with Iran. So these also could tip us off the tracks.
So
there's a film, a very interesting film, which was made by the forerunners of the CIA, the OSS, during the later years of the Second World War, showing how to derail a train, which was something they were then interested in doing rather than stopping. And it's quite difficult. It's much harder than you think. I won't give you any hints, but it's as Alan Smith said, a country has a lot of ruin in it, so it can take quite a while. But definitely the direction is downwards at an accelerating pace.
If you had a mate who was deep in debt with loan sharks, charging extortionate interest rates, and he come to you and said, "I've had a brilliant idea. I'm going to go to a bigger loan shark, ask him for higher interest payments and borrow more money to pay off the debt," what would you say to him? You'd think he was raving mad. You'd probably expect him to come out with that because he's obviously pretty poor with money. And what we've got to realise is our politicians have been pretty poor with our money. This isn't a Labour thing, it isn't a Tory thing, it isn't a Liberal Democrat when they were in power with a Tories thing. It's a political class thing. They've all been negligent, sometimes arguably criminal, with our money. And they're continuing to do it. When we speak, they don't listen. But Hitchens was saying basically, we've got no money. This country used to have a whisper, but a big stick. Now we've got a big shouty persona and a lolly stick to back it up. No armed forces as such, we've run them all down. No law and order as such. People always say to me, "Oh, do you know crime's gone down?" No, it hasn't. Reporting of crime has gone down. Crime has quite clearly gone up, despite the Sadiq Khans of this world lying to the different. And then I saw Burnham. Well, first of all, he was talking about illegal migration. Oh, well, in real terms, year on year, they've gone down. How do they know that? I know for a fact there are people working illegally in London who came straight off a boat and didn't even encounter border force. It's absolutely ridiculous. But the thing about Burnham, because it's a Burnham bounce, There's a Burnham bounce in the polls. They've asked all these gullible people who they would vote for at the next election. You know the sort of people I'm talking about, those that love their rosette. I'm Labour, I'm Tory, I'm Reform, I'm Lib Dem. We don't care if our party are run by a load of immoral criminals. Our criminals are better than theirs. So they've asked these people when there's a bit of a Burnham bounce. And the first policy that I can see that he's pressing ahead with is a 10% death tax on every single estate. So let's put that into perspective. If your parents die and you've got a £100,000 estate, the government takes £10,000 of that. £10,000 on £100,000 estate. Let that sink in. Your parents work all their lives. They save to buy a house. They save to give their kids and their grandkids a future. Only for it to be taken away, apart from 30 grand if they're ill at the end of their life, whereas if they've never saved, they don't pay anything. Or if they die, 10% of their estate that they've worked hard for all their life, taxed at source, taxed on everything they've bought during their life, pensions taxed, food they eat taxed, fuel they use taxed. And now Bouncy Burnham wants to tax the dead. He's the equivalent of a modern day grave robber, if he brings that in. And I don't care if he's Labour, if he was Tory, whoever he is, it's totally immoral. And the fact that we're in such a financial mire, for a variety of reasons, people go, oh, it's because of Brexit. Look at the British finances before Brexit. They were awful. Only thing is, they got one more thing to blame now. Oh, it's because of climate change. Yeah, partly because we've moved all our industry to places like China, Russia, Indonesia. So we meet our net zero targets. And all that happens is they're blowing our shite into the atmosphere instead of us. And they're making money, making inferior products. Even the most gullible, the person of the lowest IQ, a person walking around with her eyes closed, like a vegetable, surely even they can see that's not good economic policy. We send millions to the Ukraine for their war with Russia, a war that I think NATO incited. And we're threatening Russia with the equivalent of a water pistol to their Glock. We're playing a very, very dangerous game because these people, our political class, still think we are Great Britain. We're not. We have been so far left behind, we might as well be honest with ourselves. We can't keep giving money away to the Ukraine. We can't keep giving money away to Africa for their climate change projects. We can't keep taxing people in this country. We can't keep putting prices up. We can't, well we can. I mean, is the whole aim that we own nothing and we're happy? Like the WEF said, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Is that going to be the case? No travel? 15-minute cities? Surveillance? Is that the world we really want? I can only see that's the reason that we just let illegal migrants just flood into the country. 1,400 since Burnham has been Prime Minister. When was that? Last week, wasn't it? It's crazy. It's unsustainable. And I certainly don't think that we should be going to the dead of hard-working, working-class people in order to pay for these vanity projects of our political class. Let me know your thoughts. Bye for now. Speak to you soon.
The latest arse from the political class. Andy Burnham is his name. He wants to tax the dead. What a claim to fame. He wants to be a statesman, like shifty Starmer before. Britain is going just one way, down and through the floor. There's been a Burnham bounce, the gullible like his smile. Under that cheesy grin lurks something dark and vile. Work until you drop and pay your tax, then Smiley will tax you some more. If these criminals in power could tax it, you'd pay for going through heaven's door. I, for one, am sick of it. The lies, the waste, the bullshit. I want people who care about others, not those who care for themselves. I want people who put the British first, not traitors of conveyor belts. Burnham wasn't even elected to carry on their work. No mandate from the people. His school-like ideas, they lurk. Let's tax the dead, he says, the modern-day grave robber. Ask him about illegal migration. The demon starts to slather. The gullible are happy though, and he sure does smile a lot. Some people have given up, others have lost the plot. Wake up, folks, and quickly. There is no bounce at all. He's another of their bullshitters, assisting with your fall. There's been a